Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Get your pleasure holes ready. Let's get squelchy. It's episode 451 of Film Bastards. And this week, voted for by patrons, it's our Cronenberg special. Oh dear. We're going to be talking about Shivers. We're going to be talking about Naked Lunch. We're going to be talking about Existenz. And we're going to be talking about Cronenberg's latest film, Crimes of the Future. I'm going to talk like Kristen Stewart for the whole film.
Please don't.
For the podcast.
Then I'm going to talk like Viggo Mortensen for the whole film.
Ashley, I'm just gonna wobble about in a chair for like the entire thing. So, as always, I am joined by
Becky Foster, hello everyone.
I'm Matt Foster, hello everybody.
Hello everybody. We'll also talk some trailers. I'm sure there's been some news. We may be distracted while recording this show. We are recording on Wednesday the 6th of July, aka the night Boris may fuck off.
He will not.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
I cannot imagine him resigning. We can hope.
It's just the fact that he doesn't even have enough people willing to take the fucking roles for all the people who have resigned today.
It's 37 now. It's just gone up again.
Is it?
Yeah, there we...
It seems apt that we're about to talk shortly about the Clerks 3 trailer, and the number has gone to 37.
Dearie me. Yeah, that's true. Fucking hell. Anyway, yeah, so we just recorded Film Bastards Get Effed, where you absolute bastards made us watch Disaster Movie. And we talk about it for about 20 minutes. I did a Let's Get Physical over the weekend. The days have gone against me somewhat, and I haven't been able to do a Bastards box office report. I had to go into the office yesterday to do a 10-minute presentation for a potential client, and with some rail replacement buses that are happening on my line this week, it took me a 2.5-hour long commute there and back. Yesterday was fucked. It is what it is.
Yeah, I was supposed to be going to see Guns N' Roses this week with Noel, and promptly on Monday morning had my hotel cancelled, which was because of overbooking, which was not nice.
Is that why? Jesus Christ.
Then later on in the day, after I'd managed to get to Manchester, having had to be delayed over an hour because the train that I was on literally had to stop for 45 minutes, so I missed my connection there.
Just to pause, Mark. Given how much you hate train stations, are you sure you didn't get on the wrong train?
I am very sure, yes, because I asked many
right.
people, including this terrifying girl that was sat next to me, are you going to Manchester? And she's like, yes, this is the Manchester train. She's like, yes, are you sure? She's like, yes, do you not know what train you're supposed to be on? Like, I'm just making sure. And then, I don't like train stations. Then we were having a drink, and we were downstairs in a bar in Manchester. Myself, Noel, and Adam Lowe's.
Oh, nice.
Noel had gone upstairs to grab drinks. I got text message off the other guy that we were going to watch Guns N' Roses with saying, guys, look at this. And our train had been cancelled. Our train to Glasgow had been cancelled. So then we were like, shit, we're going to have to find an alternative way to... We're going to get a train. We're going to have to find an alternative train to get to Glasgow. That's a bit of a pain in the arse. And then what would you have it? Noel came, sat down and went, you're not going to believe it. And I was like, what? He said, the gig's been cancelled. What? So, yeah. So,
Bit of a disaster, wasn't it?
Monday morning.
So when I was talking on Twitter with Adam about Keir Starmer. Was he with you?
What's that?
I don't know. Fine.
Possibly, yeah.
That's weird, isn't it?
It was about 8:30-ish.
That's really strange.
So that was strange. So I went from Monday morning, being able to be getting a train, staying in a hotel, watching Guns N' Roses, then going back, have all of it cancelled separately.
Yeah. Bit of a disaster, wasn't
It was, but I got to get shit faced with them instead.
Yeah,
Oh,
so was
dear.
that.
Yeah.
So
that was news, not film news, but that was.
yeah.
Happened to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, patreon.com/filmbastards for early access to the show and bonus content. So yeah, film news. A Will Ferrell, Reese Witherspoon comedy has been sold to Amazon. That could be fun. Apparently, the major studios sat it out because it kind of seems like the studios just don't want to put comedy on the big screen anymore. Which is depressing.
Which could be a misstep because you've got. I keep remembering that coming out in December is that Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell musical comedy, the Christmas one.
Oh yeah, the Spirited. Is
Yeah.
that what it's called? Or...
And I have a feeling that could end up being a lot of fun and like a decent little number.
Is that the one where they did the song video on the set off?
Yeah.
That could be bone, that could be bone,
I love that.
that could be bone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did I just end you two with my incredible
It was beautiful.
singing?
I was shooketh.
So it's basically, what's it? Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Anything Christmas Carol related, I will watch.
Yep, that's coming this Christmas, isn't it? Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just disappointing to see specifically that the studios were just like, no, thank you. The only big screen theatrical release comedy I can even think of that's coming is Bros, which looks great. I'm really, really looking forward to that, and I hope it makes a shitload of money to make studios feel more confident. But the fact that it's about gay dudes makes me think it's not going to.
Ooh, I don't know. It could have that.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Jesus.
It could have that thing where, you know, you can get what people would think is a tiny little support thing that appeals to like a mass community, and people go, "Oh, I don't know anyone who went to watch that." It's like, right, how involved? Like when people say, "Who's going to watch all these Tyler Perry movies?" It's like a third of America, you dumbasses.
But yeah, I don't know. I just find that kind of dispiriting. I am going to see a Netflix film in the cinema next week. I'm going to go see The Grey Man in the cinema. And I could see Persuasion, but I'd be kicked out.
Is Persuasion playing then near you?
Yeah, it's playing the fucking showcase by me.
Fucking nice. If that was playing near me, I'd go and see it. I'd check to see if it is.
I'd be fucking showcase. Seriously, if they had any kind of unlimited pass, I would go. They do Netflix stuff, they do Apple stuff, and the customer service is good as well. I like deep in COVID times, I'd booked a couple of tickets to go. To go see The Exorcist because they were playing it there, and then it was Wales had like a circuit breaker lockdown, and they weren't able to open, and then the cinema manager emailed me and said, like, I'm really sorry about this. We're gonna comp you a couple of tickets. And I was just like, look, mate, don't worry about it. I'll be honest with you that I don't need that £7, and you know, you've got people to pay and blah blah blah. And he was just like, that's really nice of you. And when the comp tickets, but don't worry about it. And when the comp tickets came in the post, he gave me 4 fucking tickets for 1 ticket.
Even though he said he was only going to do. Yeah, that's just somebody doing their job properly, properly, isn't it? That's somebody going, I give a shit, and I can do this.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it was just such a that manager obviously is able to do shit they want to do, and was just like good, like you say, good customer service.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally the fact that I currently have both an unlimited card and a limitless card that stops me from going to Showcase more often. I really, really wish they'd do something like that. And I know that sounds insane, but I got a year of Cineworld Unlimited for less than £100 through work, which was just an incredible deal. But yeah, and it's so... I'm up for watching these fucking streamer films in a cinema if they're going to put them on before they're actually, like, on the service. Like, I went to see Ma Rainey's Black Bottom in the cinema, and accidentally exposed my boy Paul to having to quarantine for 10 days because 2 days later I was like, I got COVID. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's just like I wish that like this content could just go in cinemas as well.
Yeah,
you know, because why the fuck not? Cineworld and Odeon at the moment are playing maybe 5 films across 14, 15 screens.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think the Grey Man is playing... I mean, it's not playing Cineworld.
No, God no.
It might be playing Parkway. Is it not? No. But it might be playing Parkway next week. They have been showing trailers for Parkway. Yeah.
It comes out a week Friday. Like, Showcase are just weird where they will advanced book shit like weeks in advance. But if your cinema is trailering the Grey Man, it will play the Grey Man next Friday.
Yeah, which Expander don't put out what's they it's like Tuesday game when they put out their bits. But I would, I'll happily go and see that at the cinema.
Yeah, I would.
Because it's a big budget blockbuster. If the thing is, the way I look at it is, if that wasn't a Netflix film and it was just a film that was coming out of the cinema, I'd go and see it at the cinema. So why the fact that it's a big budget film and it's Netflix, but I still want to see it at the cinema because I want to experience it at the cinema. And if people don't, if people want to just say, well, I prefer to just watch it at home, then that's cool. But there will be plenty of people who will happily go for the cinema experience.
And it's going to be such an interesting experiment. 7:20, Friday night, the day it comes out, new film starring Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, directed by the directors of Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Let's see how many people are there.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably go into, I would think, probably part later to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I'm cool with that.
Nice.
Yeah, I am
nice.
very much on the let's just cancel Cineworld train still. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, my brain keeps on going, but part of me is like, cancel Cineworld now. Because it's not like they have smaller movies anymore. And it's not like they do unlimited screens as well.
Yeah, they don't.
And so my brain's going, but if I cancel it now, I'll lose the black card that I've got that gets me 20% off concessions that I never buy.
Yeah, and at restaurants that you'd never go to because they're all chains.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that, and I've said before, I get it with like the big chains about like that. Yes, okay, they're programming the films that are going to bring people in, but it is becoming the norm. And fair play. If the distributors aren't necessarily releasing them because shit is just being sold to streaming, I kind of get it. Like, I was pleasantly surprised that Brian and Charles film is playing at my Cineworld this week. I thought for fucking sure that wasn't, and it is. And I will go check that out. But apart from that, what is it? It's 4 Jurassic World, Top Gun, Lightyear, Minions.
Yeah.
And then, to be fair, a lot of kind of like Indian films, like they're very good with that Cineworld.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's. But I just, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in September and October when the summer movie season is over, and then what do they program? Because I hope it is Oscar botherers and things like that, you know, just like the smaller films, giving them a chance. We shall see. Let's move on to trailers.
Yeah.
And there's been a few today that have dropped.
There has been a couple a day, actually, hasn't there? It's gone from being, there's no trailers, to, oh, there's a few, actually.
Yeah. So we got Gina Prince Bythewood's new film. Speaking of Netflix, director of The Old Guard from a couple years back. The Woman King. Looks all right. I'll watch this.
The thing is, I've seen a few bits when the trailer came out. And watched the trailer. I'm up for this film. I'm up for the story. I'm up for everything. I just don't think it's a very good trailer.
No, it's
Like the content is fine. I just don't think it's very well put together trailer. It just feels like it's just a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the film, I really want to see. It's a really odd one. I don't like that trailer, but I want to watch that movie. So maybe the trailer did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a feeling John Boyega's gonna die relatively early or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, we shall see. I mean, Viola Davis in that role feels like something that is just like, well, of course I will watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit like Viola Davis in. It's like, yeah, go on
Alright.
sold.
I'm just having a look.
Viola Davis in Disaster Movie 2. Ooh. Still sold.
Oh. Bloody right. Just having a look at when that comes out. So it comes out, I think, the 16th of September in the US. It is not listed over here for then. Huh. Okay. I wonder when the fuck that's going to come out over here then. Here we go. Comes out on the 7th of October.
So yeah, so like the week after then was that. No,
So
like a couple weeks after then, yeah.
Yeah. I think my my Florida cinema visits are starting to firm up.
Nice.
I will go see The Woman King, and I will go see Don't Worry, Darling. The cinema at the Universal City Walk, while the others are doing shit for a few hours, I'll just go watch a movie. That's what's going to happen. Even though I do have a car this time. So, sorry, just a slight tangent. A bit indulgent, but I drove my father-in-law fucking mad the last time we went to Florida in 2009 because I wasn't driving then, and I was really, really trying to find a Blu-ray copy of Trick or Treat. And I couldn't find the fucker, like, anywhere. I was checking Best Buys and all sorts. Couldn't find shit. This time around, I'm driving. We've got our own hire car. You bet your fucking arse I am going to take myself off to, like, some Best Buys and Targets and have a look at what fucking 4Ks they've got.
Nice.
I can't fucking wait. I can't wait. I'm going to order shit off Amazon.com while I'm over there, like 4K discs and whatnot, because I won't have to pay the shipping, like the international shipping charges. It's going to be a nerdy delight.
You're going to get a Prime and just order them to your hotel, aren't you?
Well, we're staying in like what is essentially an Airbnb, so but it's like a villa kind of thing, and literally I cannot wait for the look on my fucking father-in-law's face when 4K disc-shaped packages start arriving for me.
Nice.
I can't wait. Like, my mother-in-law just, like, reacts to a lot of shit with me with genuine bemusement. But he will find it funny. He will somewhat respect it, and he will gleefully take the piss out of me for it.
Which is all fine.
And, yeah, and I can't wait. I've already told my brother-in-law as well that me and him are going to Uber to Disney World one day and get really, really drunk at the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge thing.
Oh, man.
I can't fucking wait. Anyway, right, so The Woman King. We also have Amsterdam. So a lot of people bringing up the word that David O. Russell once sexually assaulted his niece today. I literally saw someone tweeting saying, "Oh, if you want to watch the new Amsterdam trailer, Google David O. Russell niece, and you'll find it there." So there's that. That feels like maybe new information.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Yeah, doesn't it?
I actually don't want to Google it. Not because I don't want to know anything like that. I just don't want to Google that.
Yeah, don't want that on my search history. Thank you very much.
I'll just wait for the cat to Google it.
He does do that.
It does do that. But Amsterdam, the trailer itself, this looks alright. I don't really have... The trailer keeps on saying, like, a lot of this was real. And it's like, what? I'm not entirely sure what the story is. So, yeah, sure, it could be.
Yeah. It's a very big cast, isn't it?
It is a hell of a... I mean, Taylor Swift's in there, for fuck's sake. What the fuck's she doing in this?
It's a bit mad.
Yeah.
Maybe she wants something else on her filmography other than fucking cats.
yeah, possibly, yeah.
I mean, she's got Valentine's Day. She's got one of the films of 2020, Miss Americana.
That's just about her, isn't it? It's just like a documentary.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
count.
She's got Folklore, the something Pond Sessions.
That also doesn't count.
No, I believe it does.
It's not a film, though, is it?
It's filmed.
You know, we're really lowering the bar for what counts then.
It was filmed.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is about. Does anyone?
Three friends, a doctor, a nurse, and an attorney become the prime suspects in a murder in the 1930s.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, I mean, so the tagline's like, well, this, you know, a lot of this is based on true events. Sure, yeah, all right. Some friends were prime suspects in a murder, were they? Shocking.
I'm kind of looking forward to it. I like it when Chris Bale looks like he's having fun.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, like, I'm looking forward to it. I'm finding it hard to get in my head. It's Journey Smollett all over again. I'm just finding it hard to process it. Yeah, that shit happened. All right. But I'm still looking forward to the film.
I think it's that there's a big event they were in, that they sort of get involved in. Yeah, because it says, set in the 30s, it follows three friends who witness murder, become suspects themselves, and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history. So it's like, it's obviously adjacent to some kind of historical event, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, the trailer's done what it's supposed to do. It's got us all interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We shall see. Any others before the big one to talk about?
No, we actually sat down, didn't we, Vex, to actually look at sort of trailers before these three arrived earlier today.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, there's nothing. mean, there was a Hocus Pocus 2 teaser trailer.
Yeah, I mean, it was barely anything, was it?
No, it was barely anything. And all it did make me go was, it doesn't have any of the tone of Hocus Pocus.
No, it looks like, that awful fucking craft one they did.
It looked way too serious.
David McNulty face. Yeah. Sorry.
It just looks like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not much charm to it.
No, but then again, I am from the school of thought that Hocus Pocus is nowhere near as good as people will tell you that it is.
Yeah. You are.
Yeah. It's fine, don't get me wrong. It's just... It's not the hidden classic that it's now being thought of as.
It kind of is.
Oh, no.
It is. It's a classic family film. Loads of people love it. You don't.
Yeah, you dick.
Something I'm right.
You're wrong. That's fine.
So yes. Clerks 3. I'm looking forward to this because I like the first 2 films. And I'm up for just Kevin Smith just being meta and again knowing his audience.
Yeah.
After a few years where he was swerving about all over the place, Kevin Smith is now very successfully staying in his lane.
Yeah, that's it. It's... I think he's looking at it... Because the Jay and Silent Bob reboot was very much fan service, but it was sweet enough.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm liking the idea that this seems to be a little bit more of, right, I'm just going to have the characters from the 2 movies in there. I've not got it, and it might turn that it does have them in it, but my daughter and Johnny Depp's kid aren't feature characters in this. It's not about this is for people who not just love my movies, but specifically love these movies.
Yeah, and these characters.
Yeah. And I'm just looking forward to spending time with those characters again, and just seeing kind of like what they're gonna do. And it's that weirdness, and I've already seen people like comment on it saying, "Fucking hell, how old do they all look?" It's like, well, yeah, it's been almost 30 years since the first one.
Yeah.
They're going to look older.
Of course they are.
They've gone from being in their 20s to being in their 50s.
Yeah. I'm quite keen for this.
Yeah.
Not as keen as you are, because obviously you're a massive Clerks fan, but I actually like Clerks too. Which I didn't anticipate before watching. So I avoided it for a long time, didn't I?
Yeah, that's it. I'm like you said, Darian. It very much does look like it is just going to be a level of fan service, but that's kind of what Clerks should be. So, for instance, the next $200 million Marvel movie shouldn't be fan service and cameos, but the $8 million Clerks 3 kind of should be. Because they aren't trying to get anybody who hasn't seen Clerks or Clerks 2 to come and watch it.
No.
It's a film because those films are successful, and because every 3 to 5 years they can do a new release of Clerks in some format, and it sells really well. So they know somebody has done enough of the math and got at Lionsgate and gone, yeah, this. You want to make it? Yeah. Can you make it with this budget? Yes, I can. Then there you go.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, we think it can make a profit on this. If it doesn't, it's not that much of a big deal to us.
Yeah.
And we know that Kevin Smith already has a built-in audience and a built-in platform to publicise it
Yeah.
quite nicely for us. So it's the whole... an accountant has done a risk versus reward on this and has gone,
Yeah.
we think it's worth it.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that there's a trailer, but there's no release date. I do ever so slightly wonder whether this is going to be like an in cinemas and VOD at the same time kind of job. And I think that would be smart.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
It will make it will.
Because it's coming. Because there's Road showing it again, isn't he?
But I mean, it's got distribution through Lionsgate. There has to be some sort of normal distribution model for this.
Yeah, it says in theatres this fall, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
What I was reading was that it's that the road show will happen for it. Like the road show will start. I think it's still 2 weeks before the actual full release.
Yeah.
And then that's what happens. You'll get all these special, or a week, I think it is. And the road show will last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that it won't end up being that you have 2 weeks of people talking about what is it. Because that's what happened a little bit with Jay and Silent Bob. Was that you had a lot of people going, oh, I had all this, and it's like, shoot, I just put it on out a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's yeah. I mean, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I fully think it could be shit. If I'm honest, but then again, I said that about Jay and Silent Bob reboot, and I thought that was all right.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be.
It kind of doesn't indicate that it doesn't look shit.
I don't think it's going to be shit. I think it's going to be for an incredibly specific audience.
Yeah, I'm applying the Ghostbusters Afterlife metric to it for me, where like I criticised that film for being the DiCaprio pointing meme the movie. There, it feels like there's like a dozen of those moments just in this trailer. I want to see what else it's got.
I will also put forward for the reason why I think it's okay to apply that, but Ghostbusters Afterlife cost $75 million and was being marketed to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. But I mean, like my own personal reaction to it. You know, like look, we'll see. The fact that the guy who plays Randall, Jeff Anderson, the fact that he returned, because getting him is always the sticking point.
Yeah,
does give me some hope.
Yeah, because he said no, and then when Kevin Smith apparently completely rewrote it after his heart attack, that's when he went, now that I will make.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing. It's like, you know, okay then, let's see. I got a lot of respect for that guy. Like, it's not like he's been popping up as Randall in Disaster movie, you know, for years or anything like that. He's basically done Randall, and that's almost it.
He was in... Was he in Zack and Miri Make a Porno? He was, yeah.
Oh, was he? All right. Well, no, I mean, but
not as Randall.
He's not. Yeah, no, sure, but he's not like trading on that shit. You know, The fact that he's like, no, I'm actually only gonna do this if I think it's all right. I'm not that bothered about being in these. Like, that's something.
That's it. He's very much. He's not interested in it being a paycheck.
Yeah. Exactly. So you know, hey, we'll see. Okay. All right. So let's get squelchy.
Yeah.
Shivers from 1975. Obviously directed by Cronenberg. Stars Paul Hampton, Joe Silver, and Lynn Lowry. The residents of a suburban high-rise apartment building are being infected by a strain of parasites that turn them into mindless, sex-crazed fiends out to infect others by the slightest sexual contact. Yeah. So, this is Cronenberg's first full-length feature.
I'm just pretty sure it is. He had Stereo, which was 63 minutes, and the first time he made Crimes of the Future,
Yeah.
which 63 minutes as well. Well, I think they were part of a double, weren't they? They're both short films, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I think they're about 40 minutes and 23 minutes or something like that, I think.
So, I used to get Shivers and Rabbids conflated in my head, because I was surprised when the ending of Shivers was the ending of Shivers and not the ending of Rabid. Because the ending of Rabid, if I remember correctly, is like just like basically like bodies being fucking chucked into essentially a rubbish van, and then shit being cleaned down, and it's as if it never happened.
Yes.
Whereas Shivers, it's just this fucking horrible, bleak ending.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yes.
Like, Jesus Christ. So, it's wormy parasites that make people want to fuck. And it starts with a guy killing a girl and then cutting her body open and doing shit. So, I was having a great time, guys.
Yeah, when it started, I've not seen Shivers since probably I was about 14. So you're talking like 25 years. And so I remember it. I think the Cronenberginess of it over the years has probably made me think that it was a bit ickier than it was.
Yeah.
But at the start of it, we were saying, weren't we? Yeah, I don't think Ian's going to be getting on with this.
But that is literally the worst bit.
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
probably, yeah.
When he cuts her open and pours the acid in to try and kill the parasite.
But I love what I love about that scene is the filmmakingness of it. Is the fact that you've just got this shot from an angle where you can't see the inside of the body.
Yeah.
You could just see him start to cut, but you don't see the cut.
No, there's no overhead
And you
shot.
don't see him fiddling around. You just see him pulling something out and then pouring acid over something. So it very much is, that looks great, but they haven't had to spend any money on doing any kind of grimness of it all. And it's that thing of what we have with Phantasm, where it's clever filmmaking that makes you could go away from that. If you'd have told me, oh, remember that opening scene where it's that, in my brain I'd have been thinking, oh yeah, where you see everything that's going on, and then would have been going, oh fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah, your brain killed it.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing, everyone thinks they see things that they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Mandela effect, I think it's called, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that people think that the Reservoir Dogs has heist scenes in it, and it doesn't.
Yeah. It was. I found it oddly tame.
Your first one, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was expecting
fucking
really, really grim,
sorry.
and it's just not. I was explaining to Isabel like the storyline. I think it's about.
No, it was something at work.
Yeah. And sort of saying, it's supposed to be like this sexually transmitted parasite, but you never actually really see any like sexy stuff. It's always like they kiss and you can see a bulge coming up one of them's throat and then going down the other ones. Like, there's not really any like explicit icky sexy stuff, is there? There's not really much explicit icky gore.
No, there's not.
It's implied.
There's an oppressive nature
Yes.
to the film that does get under my skin as such.
Yeah, there's a great atmosphere to it, isn't there?
It's great filmmaking. It's terrific filmmaking. right from the start, when you got the opening credits and that guy just like talking about the apartment building,
Yeah.
and it's just like, yeah, and all the shots. It's like there's one where he talks about like the impressive views, and it just looks like a fucking industrial estate outside. And it's just like, something's not fucking right here.
Yeah.
And all the way through, the thing about Cronenberg films, which I think plays into all of these, is that they look like they're ill. And
yeah,
it does. I mean, that is fully formed from the start. There's just something not right, and I absolutely, all of these films. Spoiler alert! I think none of these films are shit, but none of them are for me. I think there are some. There's one in particular that's maybe closer to for me than others, but with this, I just feel icky, and there is such hopelessness in that last 20-25 minutes or so. Weirdly reminded me of like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, where it just like, shit's not going to be right. No matter what happens at the end of the film, shit's not going to be right. And then you've just got that really fucking upsetting bit where he finally makes it out the building, like gets over that wall, and then they're just fucking descending upon him. And it's just like,
I think also as well,
you are fucked.
The filmmaking, the confidence of the filmmaking to have the bit in the pool at the end, but then to put that into slow motion, is just really fucking good. You're basically watching just like this thing that you hope that isn't supposed to happen. They're supposed to conquer it.
Yeah.
He's supposed to get away.
Yeah.
Or he's supposed to be able to kill it. Or anything like that. And it isn't. It's then essentially slowly showing you the hero being taken down by the heroine of the movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of brilliant for that.
Yeah, and then that fucking ending.
Yeah. The thing is, I can get why for you it's obvious, because the atmosphere of it is just, it's off from the beginning.
Yeah. And
it just gradually just gets more and more. It's a weirdly low energy film.
It is, yeah.
But in a
it's so unsettling though, isn't it?
Yeah, but like not like it's not like lethargic or boring. It's just it's not. It's almost procedural in what's happening.
Yeah.
It's a really is a. I don't want to say fun little movie because it's not fun, but just a fair play to David. Fair play.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
Yes,
and if I was a young, it shows me that I'm not growing out of horror, because I think that isn't what I mean. It's just I'm getting too old for it, or my way of seeing the world is changing in a way that it's like, I don't have fun watching this. And I don't. I absolutely appreciate the filmmaking and the sense of dread, but it just emphatically, no thank you. Oh God, what's the thing? I always forget what Bex says.
Thanks, I hate
it. Emphatically, thanks, I hate it.
I really like this.
Yeah,
I really like Shivers.
Yeah. And that's totally fair. Absolutely fair.
I mean, it's definitely not shit from me.
Definitely not shit, yeah.
Our audience poll, 57% definitely not shit, 29% touching cloth, and 14% shit.
Hey, Hannah, I think you really can't beat a good rewatch of a TV show. Would you agree with that, love?
Oh, yes, I would.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think during, global pandemics, storms, all of these things, it's quite nice to just sit down and burn through something that you've seen a million times.
Absolutely, nothing like a binge watch.
Star Trek.
Babylon 5.
Because you could sit there for hours looking at serial killer documentaries.
Absolutely, that doesn't
Netflix.
make you a weird person at all.
It doesn't. Yeah, you could watch documentaries that all seem to be about women killing men.
Love you, darling.
You could put off watching Daredevil for the 30th time.
Harry Potter.
But really, you can't beat immersing yourself in the warm jumper of a rewatch of a show or a franchise.
Beloved franchise.
A beloved franchise.
Lord of the Rings.
Twin Peaks. From VHS compilations recorded off television, with the ad breaks, cut out of course, to DVD box sets of Sex and the City and, I don't know, Smallville.
Farscape.
Quantum Leap. To giving up finding new content on Netflix and just having a comfort trawl through Star Trek The Next Generation or Parks and Recreation. I think that we can all agree.
There's a lot to be said for that.
You can't beat a good rewatch. So, with that in mind, join
Anna
and Mike from Chinstroker vs. Punter as we burn through some of our favourite franchises and share our immediate reactions to each instalment in both spoiler and non-spoiler sections. To do that, do a search for the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whichever your favourite podcast provider may be, or go directly to anchor.fm/rewatch project. We are proud members of the Pod Syndicate family of podcasts.
CS3P Combat. Player 1, choose your character.
Tired of film and television podcasts where the hosts exist in a blissful state of agreement?
Stroker. Player 2, choose your character.
Well, you're in luck.
Punter. Round 1, fight!
Allow me to introduce you to the Chinstroker vs. Punter podcast, featuring two film and television fans from Birmingham, England, who enjoy their media in very different ways.
But anyway, that brings us to the end of the plot of Blue Velvet.
The plot. I mean, the main characters are two of the dullest main characters I have ever encountered in any film.
So join us as we catch up on what we've been watching from our own very different perspectives.
Double KO. Round 2, fight!
You can find us at csvsp.libsyn.com, also on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, all the places that podcasts can be found.
Just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just in that's the third time though. I mean, is this on?
Naked Lunch. I can think of at least two things wrong with that title.
Can we just appreciate how good a line that is in The Simpsons?
Yeah, fucking incredible. Starring Peter Weller, Judy Davis, Ian Holm, and plenty of others. After developing an addiction to the substance he uses to kill bugs, an exterminator accidentally kills his wife and becomes involved in a secret government plot being orchestrated by giant bugs in a port town in North Africa. Mark, what was this film about?
This film was a combination of about William S. Burroughs almost showing off about the fact that he shot his wife, and just kind of like some Hunter S. Thompson, prototype machinations about writing as a drug addict. It has no real meaning.
Well, it's the book is apparently about how drugs and the death of his wife were what led him to become a writer.
Yeah, but he was already writing stuff before that.
Not really to the same level.
Not to the same level, no. But he was. It's not about anything, and that's kind of the ridiculousness of it all. It's part of the enigma is what's it about? Nothing. It's just a collection of things. And it's kind of... The thing is, the weird thing about making lunch is it's more notorious than it is celebrated. And it's more notorious for what it isn't rather than for what it is.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what?
Well, it's not celebrated as an amazing feat of film work. It's celebrated because it's this complete, total odyssey. Oddity, sorry.
Yeah.
It's not... Again, it's not because of the fact that it's got this great story. It's about the fact that it doesn't really seem to have a story. So it's not what it's actually about. It's about what it's not. What's not there is almost part of the intrigue of trying to piece together. Like when people try and work out what Inland Empire is about, and even David Lynch goes, "Why are you doing that? Nothing. If you can work it out, fine. But I wrote it, and I don't know."
Yeah.
And there's an element of that.
It's kind of credited as being one of the best examples of like Beat Generation era stuff on film, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's it. And I think part of that is down to the fact that you've got a very strong central performance from Peter Weller. But I think what adds to that is Howard Shore's score is spot on for not just the film, but the where the book came from. Having that jazz score works really well for it. And it's a fantastic score. But again, similar to Shivers, it's got this really odd, low-key tone to it.
Yeah, no one really reacts to anything
No,
at any point.
that's it. You know, Peter Weller, when fucking like his typewriters start coming to life, he's not. Oh shit! It's just. That's happening.
Because he knows he's hallucinating, doesn't he?
That's it. But there's no. He doesn't have a big reaction to it, and then realise, oh, there's this. He just kind of takes it all in his stride a little bit. And that's credit to Peter Weller, who, you know, Peter Weller is most recognisable for RoboCop. And I think that it's almost unfortunate because he's actually brilliant in almost everything he's ever in.
But he's also brilliant in RoboCop.
Yeah. But I think the fact that he's RoboCop, but he's only RoboCop in... He's in the second one, isn't he?
Yeah, not in the third. He's going to do the third.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So he's in 2 RoboCop movies. But RoboCop became something so much bigger than that. You know, you had like a TV series and your cartoon, the toys, all things like that. He's become synonymous with all of it.
Yeah.
In a similar way to like Stallone with Rambo and the John Rambo character there, because of that. But Stallone was in all of it, with the exception of the voice of in the cartoon. But he was involved in that to a degree. And yeah, I think he's fantastic in this.
Oh yeah, 100%. Really, really good performance.
Yeah. He's fantastic. I mean, the whole cast are. Everybody is fully in, and I mean, like you can say that with everything Cronenberg. Like everybody believes in the project.
Yeah.
In all of his films, like people are in his films believing the vision. And yeah, I mean, Weller is great. Like that whole kind of like the like spy detective thing, but also the writer. Like it's great. It looks amazing as well. Like Peter Shazitsky, I think, was the cinematographer on this, and it's a remarkable looking film.
It's really light. Like I mean, it's often. You know, because what they've done is it's almost like a noir without ever being a noir. And noirs are always in the shadows. They're always, even at daytime, they're in bars or they're in a dimly lit detective's office or something like that. And whereas this, it's all daytime. It's all well lit buildings.
Yeah, in Tangier in Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just the fact that you've got bugs turning into typewriters and then seemingly being turned on by being typed on.
Don't forget having bug powder smeared on their lips with that as well. Really enjoyed that, didn't it?
He did very much enjoy the bug powder with his on his lips.
Yeah.
As well, yeah. And then the fact that she asked him to do it afterwards.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Not into that. Didn't really know what was going on, but I very much enjoyed the ending.
That's it.
Like, Roy Scheider, fucking hell, he's in 2 scenes, and he absolutely bosses them.
Yeah. Yeah. He's great. But then, like you say, everybody, Julie Davis is fantastic in it. Julian Sands turning up and being just brilliantly, like, creepy, but not being creepy.
Sure.
Yeah, the casting of it is just really well done.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, Ian Holm just essentially using his ability to talk really well. And that's what a lot of this is. It's people just talking to each other.
Yeah.
That's the brilliance of it. There's not a lot of like action or anything like that. The majority of the film is people talking to each other.
Yeah.
But it's quite gripping. But it's not even like very tense or anything like that. It's such an odd film that I can see why people don't like it, or people go, it's about nothing. I'm like, you're kind of right.
Yeah.
But again, I still really, I still found it really engaging to be with.
Yeah, I really like it, and I don't really know why.
I'm the same. I really like it, and I don't know why, other than the fact that it's got a pleasant pace to it. And I think, and I honestly could spend any amount of time watching Peter Weller or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at a definitely not shit with a Susan of Thanks I Hate It.
I can see that. I think out of the 4 we've watched, I would say it's the least icky in terms of a visual sense. I do think it's very strange the fact that you have a section in the film that is based on a real moment in his life that is essentially the accidental killing of a real person that nobody actually seems to ever bring up.
He only said 13 days in prison for that.
Yeah, those weren't like those were while he was under investigation for it, not as a sentence for it. It was deemed accidental death.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's literally. It's a direct retelling of what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the character's called Bill, and the character that he killed is called Joan, and he's called William, and his wife was called Joan.
And he was an exterminator at the time.
Yep.
I didn't know any of that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and he shot his wife in the head playing a game of William Tell. And yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was an accident, though. He didn't mean to shoot her.
No.
So.
No, maybe not.
Yeah. So you guys are definitely not shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Definitely not shit. I'll get our audience poll up on that one. Definitely not shit 60%, touching cloth 20%, and shit 20%. The thing is, if somebody said to me, yeah, I've seen Naked Lunch and I think it's shit, I would be like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I can absolutely see why someone would think it's shit.
Yeah, I can see why it'd be Marmite.
Yeah. You know, not like it's bad film or anything like that, but I can see why people go, like, it doesn't make any sense, it's got no real storyline, it is just a collection of just oddity for the sake of oddity. I'd be like, yeah, fair enough, in your bag.
Yeah. Okay, alright.
And one of the rare times on this podcast, I will say, that I've read a book that you've not read, Becky.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's break. Do we have any what we watched?
Well, I do. Does anybody else? You do.
I've got one.
I got one. Yeah.
Well, I've got two, but one of them was a rewatch of Elvis that I went to see with Noel yesterday afternoon. And what I can say is that Elvis still slaps. Second viewing, still really
Nice.
good. If anything, I think I probably enjoyed it a little bit more.
I'm really excited. I'm going to go see it on Saturday and I'll finish 3 hours before you and can't come home.
Yeah, but yeah, really, really enjoyed it. It's really good. Austin Butler is fantastic, and it's and I've got to that Noel enjoyed it too. But also, he did turn around to me after about 35 minutes and go, "This is a fucking lot." I was like, "It is, yeah."
It is.
Were you guys drunk?
No, we haven't been drinking.
Sorry.
We were a little bit tender, is what I will say.
Nice. Sorry, Dex.
It is very frenetic at the start, isn't it? It's got a very busy start.
It does.
Mm-hmm. So yes, what individual news have you guys been watching?
So I, while you were en route to Glasgow,
Mm-hmm.
which never actually happened, watched Clue with Isabel, which
Clue, nice.
Yeah, she'd never seen it before, and she likes Tim Curry well enough from Legend and what's the It. She's seen him in, so yeah, decided to show up to. She was like, finished, and she was like, "That's fucking mental." And then the alternate endings started, and she found that quite amusing. I fucking love Clue. I could watch that like every couple of weeks quite happily.
Yeah, it's a good movie, it's Clue.
And that's the only one I've watched from there.
Okay, shall I do mine?
Yeah.
So, I watched Minions: The Rise of Gru.
What's it like? Because the thing is, I didn't mind Minions, and I would, if we were covering Minions for the podcast, I would have been perfectly fine with going to see it.
So, I was a bit disappointed by this. Primarily because, honestly, the best bits are in the fucking trailer.
Ooh, is it one of
and
those?
I know that's such a lazy thing to go to say, but there's been quite a few trailers for Rise of Gru, because it was supposed to come out 2 years ago. Then it was supposed to come out last year, but they literally didn't have enough time. They couldn't finish it, because of COVID, stopping the fucking shit, the animation from being made. So it's come out this year, but there's been loads of trailers, and I was just thinking, right, so here's some slapsticky stuff in these trailers. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
the trailer where they're flying a plane.
Yes.
That is basically, that entire sequence is basically all in that trailer.
Oh.
And watching that trailer and just like the one coming out at the end when like he's been in the toilet, it's like, no, haha. Like, I love it. Big fan. But the big... And the fucking trailer with, like, the Minion talking about how he swapped the thing for the Rock with the googly eyes and, like, talking about how he did that. It's great stuff. The film itself is, unsurprisingly, very much about the rise of Gru. There's a lot of Gru.
You mean the character that nobody has any interest in from... The fact is, the fact that the Minions started from the Despicable Me film, and now we're on to... We've had 3 Despicable Me films?
Yeah.
And we've had... This is the second Minions film, but there was more Minions in the second and third Despicable Me movies than there was Gru.
Yeah. Correct. And now, the story of it is you've got the Vicious Six, who are this team of supervillains headed up by Alan Arkin. Not Alan Arkin playing Alan Arkin, but the character voiced by Alan Arkin.
I'd say that'd be something.
Would have been good. Yeah, I mean, that would have been great. He's portrayed by these other ones. Gru auditions to be the new member of the Vicious Six, is rejected, steals the MacGuffin from them, and then Alan Arkin wants the MacGuffin from him. And the Minions are in it, obviously, and they're around, but it's about Gru realising that he needs to work with a team. Fuck that. I don't want Gru working with a team. I want Minions. I paid for Minions. Give me some fucking Minions. And when it finished, I said to Lots, like, what do you think of that? And she was just like, yeah, it was okay. And usually she's pretty up. Like, as much as she doesn't like films, after going to see a film that she actually has said, yes, I want to go and see it, she's usually like, yeah, I really like that. That was funny, blah, blah, blah. With this, she was just like, yeah, it was okay. And I honestly think it's because there's so much Gru and not enough Minions.
Which, you are the first person to say that, is that a lot of things I've said about it, people saying, why aren't there enough, why isn't there more Minions in the fucking Minions movie?
This is it. I mean, they're funny. Like, for me, I think they're funny. Their mix of, like, languages is just great, and it sounds funny coming out of them. What can I say? And there's surreal shit to them that I enjoy. But then at the end, you've got like people turning into a Chinese dragon and dragons and fucking Minions working with Gru to try and save the day, and it's just like I don't care. I don't care. I want Minions. So yeah, I was disappointed by Minions: The Rise of Gru. But the gentle Minions trend, I think I genuinely enjoy that. I think that's fucking funny that it has just become a thing to go watch Minions dressed in a suit.
Thing is, though, if they were just going to see Minions dressed in a suit, it would be fine. If they weren't dicking about and like throwing hot dogs at the screen and interrupting the screenings and stuff.
Didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's the thing is that View have come out and said is we were fine with the people turning up in suits. The problem was that it's a kids movie. You had families in there, and they were literally. It was an absolute. They were not sitting and watching the film. They were like shouting Minions things, like repeating everything that was on the screen that the Minions were saying, and they were throwing things around. So it was just we were getting like kids coming out crying.
All right. Okay. Fine. All right.
But what they should have done was just had Gentle Minions screenings.
No, You can't have fucking chicken hot dogs.
No, and have that, and what I've said, if they want to do that, like when they have sing-along screens for things, they could have worked out a way of doing the marketing for this, and having that. But the thing is, the idea of it, I agree with them. It's a fun idea. This ridiculousness of people going in suits. But the problem is, there'll always be a few idiots that will just take it too far and get a little bit too excited. Want too many cans of Monster. Which Jean-Claude Van Damme?
So there you go. He might have been one of the Vicious Six.
Yeah.
If he was, he has like 3 lines.
He's Jean-Claude, a giant thing called Lobster Claw.
Yeah, he maybe has 3 lines.
There is, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's like a Kung Fu-y section where Michelle Yeoh is training the minions, and that section is fucking great. Because there's no Gru.
So the Minions 2, The Rise of Gru is great, there's just too much Gru.
Yep. 100%.
Fair play.
That's it for me.
I have one. I watched Over Her Dead Body, the 2008 Paul Rudd comedy that also starred Eva Longoria Parker,
That's it. Yeah.
Lake Bell, Lindsay Sloan, and Jason Biggs.
Sweet.
Yeah. Basically, I watched this because it was 90 minutes. I had a free 90 minutes, and I like Paul Rudd.
I don't know.
Do you know what? It's fine. The premise of the film is that Paul Rudd and Eva Longoria are about to get married. It's their wedding day. She's very much a control freak and ends up being crushed by an ice sculpture of an angel that has no wings, made by Stephen Root, and dies. You fast forward to a number of months later, a year later, I think it might be, and he's just not quite got over it. So his sister, played by Lindsay Sloan, has him go and see a medium played by Lake Bell to try and get some kind of form of closure of it. He's sceptical, but not like aggressively sceptical because he's Paul Rudd. But nothing kind of happens. Then Lindsay Sloan basically bullies Lake Bell into faking some kind of, like, she's been spoken to by giving her Eva Longoria's diary. But what would you have it? At the same time, Eva Longoria actually starts haunting Lake Bell. Over it, yeah, and starts just making her life hell because her and Paul would start dating. It's fine. It's 95 minutes. It's fairly inoffensive. It's quite funny at points. The worst part of it is Eva Longoria. She's not bad. It's just there was a whole thing where she was a big thing for like 2 years because of the Desperate Housewives thing. Yeah. And the problem is she's not charismatic or charming enough to be that big a deal. Yeah. I'm going to be really fucking like film snobby here and say it. She's a TV actress.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
You know, that's not a problem. It's just some people are suited to TV and some people are suited to movies. You know, there's movie stars that have tried to do TV and they lose all their charisma on TV. It just doesn't click in the same way. And that's it. It doesn't fire off in the same way. Yeah. But I had enough fun with it. It's perfectly fine. It suited the 95 minutes that I had.
Fair enough.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Paul Rudd being Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets to be...
Yeah, you can't really go wrong with that.
Yeah, he gets to be kind of funny and charming and have kind of moments, I think there's some really good kind of mid sort of Paul Rudd movies where he's not he's not with like all of like the Apatow cast that are all around there, and it's not like the post MCU ones, but things like this is really is a fun one. And there's one he did. I'm trying to remember what it's called. The Shape of Things. Yeah, The Shape of Things is a really good one as well, where Rachel Weisz essentially starts dating him, and it turns out that he's like she's basically using him as a living performance art thing, where she changes him from being quite a nerdy guy to a hot guy, and he has no idea about it all, and it's just like this fucking performance art thing that she's doing in the background. It's fun, but weirdly, you kind of watch it going, this is quite fun, it's quite fun, is it? And then all of a sudden you get this bit, and you're like, that's just a bit fucking bleak.
Yeah.
But it's a very good film. The Shape of Things. You should. Yeah, that's what I watched this week, and the slew of Cronenberg we watched.
Well, let's get straight back into it. 3 out of 4. Here we go. Existenz. A game designer on the run from assassins must play her latest virtual reality creation with a marketing trainee to determine if the game has been damaged. I suppose that's the plot of the film about half hour, 40 minutes in. Stars Jude Law, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Ian Holm, and others. So this is an interesting one. This came out. It is a film from 1999. One of the quotes on the poster says, "Makes the Matrix look like child's play," and it does feel just incredibly late 90s.
Oh yeah.
First off, I gotta say, at the start, where it's like the focus group, why the fuck is this focus group taking place in what kind of looks like an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting? I found that very odd. What I will say, I quite enjoy Existenz. There's a fair bit of, not exactly thanks I hate it, but just gooey, squishy, like when they're fucking fondling the controllers. It's like, oh, come on now. But I quite enjoy the video game commentary of it all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good from that point of view.
And it feels... I was thinking about it. So 1999, Grand Theft Auto 3 hadn't even come out yet. You know, we're in a... And we're in this world where they don't call them NPCs, but where they're talking about how NPCs get stuck in kind of loops. And, like, you know, the whole kind of, like, you've got to say the line with the person's name to kind of activate them. And that just, it felt like, at the very least, Cronenberg had done research.
Maybe he's a secret gamer.
I mean, if he's a secret game, I mean, like, he's a horny motherfucker, but it feels like I wish I had an N64 where I fucking fondle the controller. Like, there's that analog stick. Oh yeah, fucking get that analog stick up my arse. Let's go.
Yeah, I wish my controller squealed when I rapidly tap F.
Yeah, I wish I had to lick my finger before like fingering the control stick.
I wish my games console could penetrate me.
Yeah.
The madness of this film is that the idea for it came from an interview with Salman Rushdie.
What?
The idea that Cronenberg had the idea for this film whilst he was conducting an interview with Salman Rushdie.
What was it? Just like, Salman, Have you ever thought about whether you could put your dick in an N64?
But it was Cronenberg had an idea of the fatwa against a virtual reality game designer.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Look,
The thing is,
I quite enjoy Existenz, but yeah, go on, Mark. Go
the
on.
thing is that virtual reality. We were talking about 23 years ago, but virtual reality was kind of like it was a big deal in the late 90s.
Yeah.
It was seen as it was going to be like this big thing,
Change the world.
and you know, even sort of now, like 20 odd years later, you know, you've got VR headsets that you can get for PlayStation, but it's not like everybody who has a PlayStation has a VR.
No.
It's not quite become the thing that I think that they thought it was going to become in the late 90s.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to try it.
That's it. I'd love to try it.
You have to try before you buy.
To try it, but I'd have to buy a PlayStation VR to try it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I can't see me regularly using it.
No.
Partially because I have glasses, and I would just be there going, "Wait, that blurs right there. That blurs right there."
That's all, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just there's not enough content. Like it's a snake eating its own tail. That like studios won't put enough money in to make like really proper full games for it, and because that's not happening, not enough people are using VR, which is making people skittish about putting loads of money into VR games.
That's it. It's the thing of it's like you say. It's almost like the gaming has moved beyond that. And VR hasn't been able to keep up with how fast gaming's moved, so it's become too expensive to kind of do.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's the snake eating its own tail a little bit of it all. You really like Existenz, don't you, Lex?
I love Existenz. I really, really love it. I forgot how many kind of sexual references there sort of are in this film, and watched it with Isabel, so that was a bit awkward. But then we made it not awkward by just laughing about it. She was like, "Ew, I'm just like wanking off that fucking game pod." And then it was broken, so it's fine. But yeah, really loved it. It was nice actually watching it with someone that has never seen it before as well, because obviously we've watched it quite a lot, so the ending, obviously you know what it is, so it's no surprise anymore. Whereas she was like, "Oh fuck, the whole thing was fake! Wow!" So yeah, that was good. But yeah,
But was it? You know, at the end, it's like, well, are we in the game or not?
Yeah, but that would mean that bit was fake as well. Everything could be fake. They could just be sad.
Oh, so it was. Yeah. Okay. All right. No. Sorry, I get you now.
But she was like gagging at the bit where he makes the gun.
Oh, the bit he makes the gun is horrible.
Yeah.
The thing is, the bit he makes the gun, right? I feel about that like Ian feels about all of the rest of this series.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I didn't have that much of a problem with it.
It's all of what you like, the ickiness that you feel about it is condensed down to that for me, because and it's a genuine thing, isn't it? It's a medical, it's a like an actual mental thing. I can't stand hearing people eat.
Yeah.
It genuinely.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that, and you're like sucking bits off it and going like that, and I'm like, it's not even like the ickiness of that. It's just I can hear him eating, and it makes me want to pull my eyes out.
Yeah, I think it's the. I think for me as well, it's the fact that he really doesn't want to be doing that, and he's just being held hostage essentially by his game character.
Mm.
So he's having to do it.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's got the Cronenberg kind of fingerprints all over it of like. You're right, yeah.
That's Lottie going down the stairs. Sorry, I was just talking to her. I just had to mute my mic for a second.
Okay. Sounds like it's not falling over. Yeah, it's got the ickiness of a Cronenberg film. There's a lot of gross, like, kind of moments in it. But it's got a really sort of linear story as well that is really well fleshed out. It's a really well fleshed out story.
It's also the most, I would say, energetic
Yeah.
of the four we've watched.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I would probably say out of the Cronenberg movies, it's probably the most accessible.
Oh, so you talk about like including things like The Fly and Videodrome and bits like that.
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah.
I think it's probably the one that's most likely to appeal to a wider audience.
Yeah, because it's not quite The Fly. But again, The Fly was a huge fucking hit.
Yeah.
Fly was like made a huge amount of money, and this just didn't. It died a fucking death. And it's not like it's even developed like a cult following or anything like that. It's just kind of it's there, and there's people who like it, but I would say not enough to make it a cult hit or anything like that. There's enough people who like it that it can constantly get that it gets like an iTunes release.
Why did it do so badly?
I don't think they knew how to market it.
No.
I think it was just before Jude Law was. I mean, Jude Law has never been somebody who could sell a film so on his own. But they kind of thought he could for a while, but in reality, he hasn't.
I mean, the Matrix is was like the big trippy thing of the time, and it kind of feels like it was almost at a point where Cronenberg was underappreciated as well.
Yeah, that's it. It was almost seen as, he'd had his success with Videodrome, Dead Zone Fly, and Dead Ringers. Then Naked Lunch was just a bit, and then Crash got a lot of attention and a lot of critical acclaim, but again just kind of died a death. And then this came out, and it was. He had to kind of pick up the pace again after that. Spider did nothing.
Yeah.
Spider's a weird little film, though, isn't it?
It's just a bleak film.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the thing. Then he comes back with History of Violence, and it kind of seems like he's back, but then he's also not necessarily doing the stuff that he was kind of known for. Then he gets Prestige for a bit. Then that doesn't really work, and now he's back with Crimes of the Future.
Is that a seamless fucking? Is that a seamless? Moving on.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, Existenz definitely not shit.
Definitely not.
Oh yeah, definitely not shit. Yeah, our audience poll. I mean, this is quite cool. This is what is it? Definitely not shit. Extends 67%. Touching cloth 17% and shit 17%. So. So far, that makes it our most liked of the movies.
Sounds it.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool, that.
Hang on a second. I'm just going to see if Lottie wants 50p to grab me a beer, that would be fine. Oh. Oh. Thank you. Thanks, son. So, moving on to Crimes of the Future. Starring Viggo Mortensen, Lea Seydoux and Kristen Stewart. Humans adapt to a synthetic environment with new transformations and mutations. With his partner Caprice, I'm just going to say here, I'm editorialising, the fantastically named Soul Tensor, celebrity performance artist, publicly showcases the metamorphosis of his organs in avant-garde performances. This is a film that in 2022 got a theatrical release in the US and has made fuck all. It's coming out in the UK, in UK cinemas in September, and will make fuck all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Cronenberg probably loses people money, but I love that people are giving him money.
Mm-hmm.
In a way. This film is a massive thanks I hate it. Bex, what do you think?
Do you know what? It's weird, possibly because this was the fourth of the four that we were watching. And I also watched The Fly not so long back and stuff. I don't know. I didn't find this as icky as I thought it was going to be. And maybe it is, but maybe I was just numb to it having watched all the others. That's a distinct possibility. I did really like it. I'd quite like to sort of rewatch it. We had to split it up, didn't we? I'd quite like to rewatch it all in one go. It's back to that same kind of low energy thing that we were saying about Shivers and Existenz, though, isn't it? It's quite a low energy vibe to it. And the story's really thin. Like not an awful lot seems to happen. But what does happen, and the atmosphere and the general aesthetic of it, I really like. Caveat, except Kristen Stewart, I thought she was awful.
And you're not a Kristen Stewart hater, are you?
I am not, no. I really like her. I like. I think she's worked really hard to kind of subvert the view that all she can do is look awkward and bite her lip and look down, and then she's just back to doing that same shit in this, and she's just not good in it.
Mm. Yeah.
Sorry, Lottie's talking to me, just a sec. Right, sorry about that. She got some Pokemon cards and she's really, really excited.
Nice.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was already not on this film's wavelength when it opens with a kid eating what looks like a plastic waste paper basket and then his mum being really annoyed by it and killing him.
I was alright with that bit.
You know, it's just like, alright, well that's a statement of intent, isn't it? And there's just a bit of me that is just... Yeah, and again, after watching all four of these films, where it's like, yeah, alright David, I get it. Cool. Alright, what are we going to do this time then? What's going to go in what hole? And, but you know what I mean? It's... And it like you said, Bex, it does feel low energy, and there is somewhat of a plot there, but by the time it got to this, I was just a bit done, and it's like, and it is thanks I hate it, but it's a weirdly bored thanks I hate it. Where it's like, well, yeah, of course I'm not going to enjoy this. What are we doing now? Oh, yeah, cool. All right, we're going to do a fucking performance art autopsy of a kid, and then there's going to be a bunch of, like, fucking tattooed what-the-fuck organs. Cool. Great.
Right, there was one bit that grossed me out, actually.
What?
The bit where she opened his zipper and started, like, looking it up and doing...
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not into that. I mean, like, I thought the relationship between Mortensen and Sado was, like, weirdly sweet. Like I quite enjoyed that vibe. And the ideas of the film, you know, like the whole kind of like changing your body so that are you human or are you not, and like making synthetic bars that now you can eat because you've been changed, like that. You know, that's interesting.
And like the fear of change and evolution as well, by them trying to like removing all these new organs and cataloguing them rather than like leaving them.
Yeah. I mean, it's got interesting ideas. I just like if it was less horny. I think maybe I would connect to it more. Even though it did make me laugh when Viggo Mortensen, what's that line where like he's talking to Kristen Stewart, he's like, "I'm bad at the old sex."
Yeah.
You know, it kind. There was a part of me that's like, it's Cronenberg knowing that he can do all this stuff, but ever so slightly playing the hits.
It's a bit boring.
Yeah.
But it's almost like the film has tricked you into not wanting to admit that it's a bit boring. It's interesting. The ideas are interesting, but they're not executed in that interesting a way. It's not the film that the trailer suggests.
No, not at all.
It's a less interesting film than the trailer suggests. It's a less provocative film than the trailer suggests. And it ends up just being an awful lot of Viggo Mortensen dressed like he's going to the Black Parade and talking really sort of roughly and quietly. And people talking to each other for like 5 minutes in language that kind of makes no sense, but the film tricks you into thinking that it's smart, when actually it's just bollocks.
It would make sense if you weren't so dumb.
Yeah, and it's just, oh no, because it's the future, it's how people will talk in these situations, and it's how these things will be referred to. And there's almost an element of it of just going, yeah, do you know what? Maybe it's just a bit... It's not crap.
No.
It's not. And it looks alright. But something that I said to you, Bex, about these things, the reason why these films now don't feel as icky as they did 40, 30 years ago is because they're digitally shot. They look really clean.
Yeah.
They don't have that odd fucking feeling that like Shivers has.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that. It feels... You don't get that sense of awkwardness from it. It's not a criticism of the performance or anything like that. I think everyone is... I actually don't mind Kristen Stewart. I think she's alright in there. I think that... I don't think it's as good as things that she's done over the past 4 or 5 years. I think it's maybe as good as things that she did 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But I almost think Lacey do. I don't think she's actually that great in it. I think she's committed. I just don't think she's that great in it. I think she's just...
Oh, she's fine.
Yeah,
she just doesn't really do much.
That's it, but none of them really do anything.
No.
It's not... There's nothing that makes me go, alright, fucking hell, that's a bit interesting. Probably the most interesting character is Scott Speedman. And you should never say that about anything.
That's true.
When it finished, I thought, I'm a solid 3.5 out of 5, 7 out of 10. And I think that now I'm maybe a little bit like, it's good filmmaking, it's not bad, it's just a bit boring.
Yeah. It's a shame, because like, from the trailer, it looked like it had a ton of potential to be really, really great Cronenberg.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's got production value. I think the score's great.
Yeah, the score's very good, yeah. The production value's great.
Yeah, and but yeah, I don't know. It just it feels like it's trying to be provocative because maybe it doesn't quite have enough elsewhere to say. It feels, for a title of Crimes of the Future, which is that's a big title. It feels like what it's concerned with is actually quite small scale because it's quite a personal story. And I don't know. It was interesting hearing your reactions to it because I was just like, honestly, I was just like, right, okay, yeah. I mean, thanks, I hate it, but obviously, right, what are we doing now? Yeah, don't like that. But it's because I'd watched, like, this was my 4th Cronenberg film in 3 days, and it was just like, yeah, don't like that. Of course I don't like that. What have we got now? Oh yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, there's a possibility that it is that I just had that because Cronenberg. Because what I will say is they all have a vibe to them. He's got a pacing that feels very Cronenberg for it, and there's a sound almost that feels quite Cronenberg. Yes, there's not a lot of background noise in Cronenberg movies. I don't know, it sounds weird, but it's definitely something that I've noticed in all of them.
Yeah.
That the sound you are hearing is the people talking.
Yeah. Very movie.
And so there is that to it. But maybe if I've watched this first or I've watched it second, I might have a slightly different. Maybe I'll just Cronenberg down by that point.
Nice, because I'm still super keen to watch Video Cronenberg and Dead Zone.
But now I watch Dangerous Method again.
I haven't seen that. That's the
Yeah, because I remember
I refused to watch it because of Keira Knightley.
I remember finding it really funny.
Should we do like we've done Cronenberg. Should we do non-Cronenberg Cronenbergs next week?
No. I think we're all a bit Cronenberged out.
I think that's better. I'm excited to read the book again Thursday.
Yes. So where are we all with it then?
I mean, it's definitely not shit.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. It's definitely not shit.
It's just not what I hoped it would be.
And I'm not thanks I hate it. Like I could see, if you said thanks I hate it, I would agree with you on. I could say, yes, I can see why you're saying that. But I don't think it's icky enough.
No.
Like the most icky moment it probably is when she starts eventually fucking licking out his zipper. But even that isn't icky enough.
No, because it's not like shown.
No, it cuts away the minute she starts actually doing it.
Yeah.
It's like the Lorna version of it.
What?
Lorna. Light porno.
Well,
do you know what's interesting though?
go on.
Our audience poll. Definitely not shit, 0%. Touching cloth, 0%. Shit, 75%, and Geostorm, 25%. Wow. And the thing is, I've seen an awful lot of people not liking it.
I think with a director like Cronenberg, when they've got a new film coming out, it's like you get really excited, and then when it's disappointing, you get it's like it's a heightened disappointment.
Escalated. Yeah.
So I can see why not loving it translates to hating it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. No, I can see that. It's the you have an over the top reaction to it.
Or maybe it is just actually shit and we're wrong.
I mean, you guys maybe.
I mean, you are often wrong.
Not me. That would be the shock of the century.
Okay. Cronenberg's done, thank fuck, but there's still some questions.
Yeah. Well, I asked our audience and got a response from Rickard saying, what are your top 5 Cronenbergs? And Rickard says, number 5, Existenz. Number 4, Scanners. Number 3, The Dead Zone. Number 2, Eastern Promises. And number 1, The Fly. What are your guys' top 5s?
Okay. The Fly, History of Violence, The Dead Zone, Existenz, Eastern Promises.
Eastern Promises number 1.
Oh, no, sorry, that was 1 to 5. Sorry, I did that the wrong way round.
The Fly at number 1. But that's really
Yeah,
icky.
The Fly... Yeah, it
That
is,
should be a
but...
full-on thanks, I hate it. For you.
Yeah, but I haven't watched it in like 10, 15 years, so if I watched it now, it probably would be.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the reason why you're not watching it again, isn't it?
No, I genuinely will live my life. The Dead Zone is probably the only Cronenberg film I'll probably ever go through my life watching a second time, like a further time.
That's fine.
Done.
Yeah, that's yours.
I'm done.
I put them in like some kind of order and narrow it down to 5. There's so many that I love.
So mine would probably be Rabbit at number 5. Then Cosmopolis at number 4. Then Shivers at number 3. And History of Violence at number 2. And Naked Lunch at number 1.
Right, okay. So probably...
Mainly because even though I've seen it a couple of times and know I like it, my brain can't remember most of Videodrome. I think 'cause I've never watched it sober.
Nice. So I'd probably say Scanners at number 1. Existenz at number 2. Videodrome at number 3. The Dead Zone at number 4. And Rabbit at number 5.
Fair play. And we have Rick Kidd asked us a question where he says, I'm currently fighting up a dose of COVID, but I think we can all say we hope you get better soon.
Yeah.
And we hope you're better, although we hope you're better by the time you're listening to this.
And we hope if you're not, we brighten your day.
Yes. Says, do you have any go-to comfort films when you aren't feeling on top form?
Yeah,
So-
to be fair. Never-ending stories up there. Princess Bride. Clue. Yeah.
Ian.
Big Trouble in Little China. Sorry, I'm done.
I'm not going to be Billy Big Bollocks about this. Genuinely, if I don't feel run down all that often, and when I do, I just sleep.
You ever feel
The
it?
last time, not, I mean, like hungover, but if I'm hungover, I don't really have any attention span at all. Like the last time I had so I had a day off when I had COVID. The last time before that I was ill, I started watching Apollo 11, that documentary, and fell asleep during it. And then I was just asleep most of the day. So honestly, when I'm ill, I just sleep. I'm trying to think now. Straight up, like, the last film I remember watching when I was ill, we were still living in fucking Cardiff, so that would have been before 2013, and it was Battle Beyond the Stars.
Oh, that's another one actually. The whole, not the Keira Knightley one, the kids film.
The Joe Dante.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really one that. I'm the same. If I'm ill, I just tend to sleep.
It's just comfort film.
But like a comfort film, Mallrats. Yeah, Mallrats is like he's one of my big hug of the movies. If I'm ever feeling like a little bit like, I usually stick on Mallrats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just prefer to watch things that remind me of being a child. It would be the same.
Yeah. Which I think is fair enough.
Yeah.
But that was it. That's all we have for questions. So, what are we covering next week here?
That was a good question. So next week we're going to be punching our MCU tickets with Thor: Love and Thunder, and I'm hosting. So Kiki is currently in the room, so I'm gonna yeah. Hello, you all right? Yeah. So I'm gonna say thank you very much for listening. Patreon.com/filmbastards. Support more. We hope you enjoyed this Cronenberg special as much as I didn't enjoy watching the films. Thank you very much, Becky.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Right. And listener, right, go lick your finger. Yeah. Go lick your finger. Then stick it in your ear. Yeah. And then take it out. Okay, you done that? Yeah? Alright. Now open up your arsehole. Right? And then stick your finger up it. Right? Have a bit of a squelch about so it's all like... And fuck off.
Wow.